What's going on YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yocrates, and this is your review for Love Marriage Huntsville Season 4 Episode 3. You guys are getting all the videos for this today. I'm catching up. Alright, like I said, Passover has officially begun, so all of my preparations, look, we're past all of that now. So, yeah, happy Passover for those who celebrate. So, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm not going to sit here and go super deep through these next three reviews only because two of them are late, like 2 weeks late, and then, yeah, we just got last night's. So, we have Maurice meeting up with Marceau at Black, which I'm going to say just in general, I applaud Marceau and Letitia for having a lot of conversations happening at their establishment. Because this is one of those where you're promoting your establishment without promoting your establishment. So that's very smart. Okay. So Maurice wants an apology. Marceau says he will give an apology to Kimmy because pretty much she indirectly got affected by what he did. And Maurice says everyone knew I was there. Everybody on the stage knew you were there. We did it. Now I don't feel like going back, but pretty much the question wasn't asked by what is his name, Carlos King, when because the question wasn't were you in Atlanta with them, is have you been around them to know. And all he had to do was just say I was in Atlanta with them, but I haven't been around them long enough to be able to judge whatever was. That ain't what you said. So with just the blatant no, him saying like it is what it is, and Marceau pretty much said, had you not lied, you would not be in this situation, which is a fact. Which is a fact. Now, is what Marceau did shady and petty and somewhat trifling? Yes. But the reality is, and this is one of those things that people have to understand, you have to acknowledge your part in the situation. So, with that being said, had Maurice not lied, none of this would have happened. Moving on. Martell comes and he invites the guys to his book signing, and it's the book that he did with his children. But they can't be there because I forget what Marceau's obligation was, but Maurice is going on his honeymoon with Kimmy. Martell brings up Louis, and Marceau said that he pretty much brings up Louis, the reunion, that whole thing. Marceau's like, I'm not going to be a punching bag to anybody because his whole thing is, I don't understand what the issue is, but again, why are you speaking on my marriage? And Marceau says, he'll have a convo with him. Cool. We get Tiffany and Lou. They're fixing the internet for the cheering. Tiffany wants to cuddle and do all this other stuff and whatnot. But you trying to do all this with the cameras there. Like, I get what is going on, but we also have to be real. Yes, yes, this is supposed to be their reality, but it's also reality television. Like, and at the same exact time, like I don't want to see certain things like with the Housewives of Potomac. Okay, seeing Gargamel and Hey Arnold, and that okay, seeing Karen and Uncle Ben Baptist, Salt Lake City Whitney and her, don't we don't need that visual. We don't even need that visual. Please don't. Please, Lord, no. So the pajama party. So Tiffany recaps the pajama party and the mess that happened there. Louis brings up the reunion, brings up the conversation that he had with Martell, and Louis wants is like trying to like figure out like what is the problem, like what is going on, and is willing to have a conversation with Marceau. And Tiffany's like, cool, let that happen because then maybe afterwards we can double date. And then she says, you know they go back, and she knew Marceau from Montego. Now we don't know exactly what that is. We don't even know the timeline because that could be a year. That could be, well, actually we did find out in a later episode that years. We'll get to that when we get there. And Louis gets his bag like, that's what I'm talking about. Da, da, da. And I'm trying now again. I'm not saying that he's putting on for the cameras. I'm trying to figure out where the transition happened, where it's just like a switch for the like. Because here's the reality: she knew him. Don't mean that you knew. Okay, whatever. And Tiffany says to him, "Hey, it's me, huh? It's me." Whatever. So we get Mel and Mariah doing an audition tape. Now I will say, seeing Mariah there, that was cute. Finding out that she wants to get into acting and even wants to do tennis and be better than Serena, I'm like, okay, well look how it goes. Come on, we need to set the bar. And I appreciate the fact that when Mariah said that, Mel's like, okay, well, we got to get you a trainer. Not a trainer. Was it a trainer or a coach? Somebody to help her get to those means. I'm like, all right, I'm here for it. But getting back to the whole audition tape thing, yeah, what I didn't like is I didn't like that as Mel was doing the audition tape. I really hate that a lot of African Americans, when there's certain roles, the first thing we go to is their very hood, their very projetic type of neck rolling and all of this and what. I didn't like that. It seems very stereotypical, but I'm gonna move on. What else I got here? And then she asks her, "Why do you think mommy works so hard?" And Mariah's talking about, "Oh, so we have nice things, and you can take us places and all this other stuff." And she was like, "I mean, that's a part of it, but I'm doing it because I don't want you to ever have to depend on anybody, and I want you to work hard for your dreams." Now that is nice, but this is also one of the things where that could be flipped and manipulated by Martell. Because if that's the case, I would have preferred for that to have been a conversation that she had with all of her children, saying, "I'm trying to teach you all self independence to where you don't have to depend on anybody, where you make yourself whole, and bringing somebody in is an addition, not to sit here and compensate for what it is that you're lacking." And I hope y'all get what I'm saying, right? Okay. Uh, moving on. Let's see what else. So we get Marceau and Marlene wine tasting. So Martell has a red wine, a sweet red wine coming out, and his inspiration is back when he and Mel were together. They would enjoy a very a sweet red wine. That's part of it. And then he said that he will tell other people about it, and they will go out and just like start buying it, crazy. So he's like, okay, well, hell, I can sit here and make money myself. Which, and look, that's typically what happens. You get a lick or whatever. You tell somebody about it, and yeah, if they like it, yeah, they're going to go and get it. So I mean, I'm not hating on that. And even though there's a lot of saturation in many different markets, hey, do what you do. And as long, now let's be clear, I'm pretty sure this is more of somebody came to him with an idea, you slap your name on it, we get the visibility, yeah, yeah, yeah. But hey, it is what it is. So now, Mama Marlene, I ain't here to judge you, baby. I'm not. Okay, because I'm a drunk. Okay, so I can't judge nobody on what it is they do when it comes to drinking, because I have been known to mix the elements. Okay, when I say the elements, I mean light and dark liquor. Go ahead and put some beer on top of that, maybe a Jaeger bomb. Look, I does it. Okay, so I'm not here to judge, but she was pretty much getting drunk off the wine. In addition to that, she was sitting here mixing and doing all the other stuff. Now, Martell, what you should have done is giving her just a very small amount, just enough to wet the palate to get the taste, and then wipe the palate, and then try the next one. Excuse me, and then leave the samples there. But he just like, okay, well, I can't take what she said to be credible because she just think all of it tastes good. So I'm like, okay. And then they talk about the book signing. And the mama said, she gonna be there, and you have Martell pretty much saying, I, reached out to Melody, and hopefully the kids will be there, even though it's not my week. We'll talk about that when we get to the end, because that is an important part, right? Right. So now we get Marceau and Tisha. You have Marceau. Marceau, look, I'm not here to play with you, bro. Because he said when he was in Africa, he realized that generational wealth is time and wisdom. No generational. Marceau. But we not finna do this. We are not. Now, I hope that you have a trust for each and every last one of your children. I hope you have an ironclad insurance policy for yourself and your wife where your children are the beneficiary. I hope you have all of that in place to where they ain't got to want for nothing. And when it comes to the businesses, that you have them on there. And if they are not of age, if both of y'all were to pass to sit here and take over the business, that there is another person in your family that can sit here and run it until they become of age and they can pass on to them. Like, I hope all of this is happening because this is what's going to help with the generational wealth and keep them from falling into potholes they don't need to be in. All right, moving on. So let me see. So then we have the black rehash of which part was it? What happened with him and his brother and whatnot. And then the secret apartment thing comes up, right? So Marceau says, well, my car is very distinct and whatnot. So, if I was there or at the apartment, or he was like, so if I was there, pause, if my vehicle was at a secret apartment, and say, look, here's the reality. And this is something that people need to learn, especially when, there's conversation and whatnot. The art of listening and concise and effective conversation, part of that is just letting somebody talk. And the reality is, you let somebody talk long enough, they'll slip up and say something that they probably didn't mean to say. And when he said my car there, pause, and then went to fix it. But I'm gonna say this: Tisha might be dumb, but she not stupid. That's going to come up in a later review because it was rumored that her name is on all the businesses. He confirms in last night's episode that she is the majority shareholder, though he's the president slash the face. She owned, like, she's the literally, the decision is hers. All right, moving on. Marceau isn't trying to get someone to understand because it's that whole well, he pretty much said, I'm not trying to get somebody to understand me when they're dead set on getting me wrong. And this is more or less in reference to Lou. But now, again, I'm not always here for Marceau. I'm here for that statement because I have it to where people are dead set on misunderstanding me based off of preconceived notions and narratives that were written. So when things happen, it's just like, so you're not even trying to listen to me. You already have it in your mind what this is. And if you're dead set on misunderstanding me, I'm not going to go out of my way to sit here and try to prove anything to you or get you to understand. I'm not wasting my life energy on that. I see him on that. Okay, I already talked about the secret department. I guess I said that out of context. Whatever. So we get Kimmy and Maurice. Not much there, but honeymoon talk. Kimmy brings up Mel's party, and Maurice wants her to talk to Tisha and Destiny about what transpired there. And now here's the thing. I understand where Maurice is coming from. Now, Maurice, you starting to look real crazy in episodes now. Starting to look at you a little funny, but I do get the whole fact of if she doesn't bring it up, and he didn't say this, but if she doesn't bring it up and the playback happens, now you're going to have Tisha and Destiny looking at her crazy like, so you were here in a party where we were being discussed. You didn't shut it down or you did not remove yourself, but you just sat there and just took it all in. But at the same exact time, I'm also one of those where don't come back to me telling me what somebody said, because if you can't tell me what you said, but you come back telling me what they said, I'm already looking at you crazy, because it's that saying, any dog that will carry a bone will take a bone. I ain't got it to do. So we get the book signing. Um, the kids aren't there. Now, Mel had a death in the family, and it was actually two within a short time frame. And she's packing up, and she's taking the kids with them. Now, you have various people coming up asking about, are the kids there? This and the third. Louis and his family were there and asked, hey, are the kids there? Now, he did look hurt. And he really looked embarrassed when Melkina, I think that's her name, not trying to be disrespectful, brought up some children to sit here and read the book in place of his children. And he even had placeholders for where they would be sitting. Here's what I'm going to say to that. And this is one of those where we just going to have to agree to disagree. But first and foremost, planning. let's be very clear. Again, I don't have children, but I do know when you're dealing with the whole custody thing and split custody and whatnot, planning has to happen. And then when you're doing business, there is planning that goes with this. Now, yes, there are going to be sometimes some very, hey, this popped up, we don't have that much time to react, blah 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 blah. But again, this is where effective, concise communication comes into play. And based off what Mel says, now look, both Mel and Martell have been known to lie. So let me be clear with that. But I do believe Mel when she said that he sent me an email telling me, or pretty much asking, will these things be done for the kids? And telling her to get these things done instead of asking her. And it could have been real simple, like, hey, I understand this is not my week to have the kids, but blah 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 blah. At the same time, either he or old girl should have did the planning to where, okay, we have these things coming through the pipeline on this day, da 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 da. And I don't understand why you would schedule something on your particular week. And here's the thing: was Mel being petty? Probably, more than likely. The reality is this: it is her week. And it is very selfish for somebody to sit here and want somebody to drop what they're doing to sit here and do what you want them to do. But at the same exact time, Martell, bro, again, I don't like the fact that I share a zodiac sign with you because you not doing what you trying to do. We see right through it. Because what the plan is, you knew Mel wasn't gonna bring the kids, but you were hoping that it would happen, but you were banking that it wouldn't happen because this is all being filmed on camera. You have all these people coming up asking about the kids. So you're trying to paint the narrative that she is doing wrong by you, and even telling your story in such a way to where you're not saying all the full totality of what happened, because we're gonna talk about it in the next recap about what happened when Tiffany went to go talk to Mel and how she got Mel's version of the story. So you're literally trying to paint her as being a bad mother, and that is not cool, and that is not fair or right. So yeah, I understand everything, but hey, it is what it is. Sorry, bro, you were wrong. So with that being said, that's all I got for this particular episode. I will be right back to give you guys episode 4. Peace.